chosen one. There is a distinct calling upon your life, not to make you greater than anyone else, but to remind you that no one can fulfill the work entrusted to you in precisely the way you can. I want you to become still before this truth, because for too long you have looked at the journeys of others and questioned the value of your own road. You wondered why you could not easily fit into familiar patterns and why the things that satisfied many people could not bring lasting peace to your heart. This does not mean that you are abnormal or ungrateful. Certain desires were planted within you to draw you beyond a life of mere survival and toward a place where your abilities, compassion, and lessons can create genuine value. Today, I am not calling you to claim a promise through pride. I am calling you to accept the responsibility of living truthfully with the goodness waiting to be expressed through your hands. From your earliest years, you sensed a difference within that was difficult to explain. You observed more deeply, felt more intensely, and often perceived what remained hidden beneath the words of others. At times, this ability made you lonely because people understood only one part of you and quickly placed a label upon you. Some called you too sensitive, while others said you were too ambitious, too quiet, or too difficult to understand. Gradually, you learned to lower your voice to avoid judgment, hide your aspirations to escape ridicule, and adjust yourself to fit rooms that were never wide enough to contain your true self. But beloved, I did not create you to spend your life proving that you have the right to exist. You do not need to dim yourself so that another person's light can appear brighter. You need only learn how to shine without competing. Walk confidently without trampling others, and use your abilities with humility. Do not treat your difference as a privilege that separates you from everyone else. A gift becomes beautiful only when it is used to serve, heal, and build. If you have been given the ability to recognize solutions, help others escape confusion rather than using your understanding to appear superior. If you possess a powerful voice, use it to defend those who cannot speak for themselves, not to make the vulnerable feel smaller. If pain has made you deeper, let your experience make you gentler rather than allowing it to become a throne for pride. I call you chosen, not because everyone else has been forgotten, but because you have a specific responsibility to fulfill. Every person has a place where something precious can be offered. But you must stop hiding from your part merely because it requires you to leave your comfort zone. I know that hardship has caused you to question whether this calling is real. You lost people you trusted, experienced betrayal in places you believed were safest, and watched plans collapse after investing so much effort. There were days when doubt covered your mind like a thick fog, making every possibility ahead appear distant. Yet, despite your weariness, you never completely abandoned hope. You still attempted to choose integrity when an easier road invited you to compromise. You continued caring for others even when you had not been understood. This does not mean that you must continue suffering to prove your strength. It reveals that difficult seasons could not remove your ability to love. Rise and begin again. The marks left by your journey do not lessen your value. They remind you that you were refined to see life through deeper eyes. Now, I want you to stop waiting for the world's approval before trusting what has already been placed within you. External recognition may come, or it may not, but it should never become the foundation of your purpose. There will be days when you work in silence. No one understands what you are building. and no applause encourages you. That is where faithfulness becomes most visible. Develop your abilities before there is a stage. Keep your word when no one checks. Complete small tasks with devotion. Because great responsibility is not entrusted merely because someone desires it strongly. It requires shoulders prepared through discipline, humility, and accountability. You cannot merely hope that a door will open and then enter with unprepared hands. Turn the present season into a place where foundations are built, so that when the moment arrives, the very thing you once prayed for does not overwhelm you. Remember Esther, who did not enter the palace because she wanted to be admired or pursue glory for herself. Her position was both a privilege and a test, because eventually she had to choose between personal safety and raising her voice to protect many people. Her courage was not the absence of fear. It was the decision to do what was right, even while understanding the possible cost. You will also encounter moments like this, not necessarily within a palace, but at work, within your family, in your community, or during a conversation in which silence would be much easier. Your calling may become visible when you defend truth. Stand beside the vulnerable. Refuse to participate in wrongdoing, or dare to present a solution that others were afraid to attempt. Do not dismiss such moments, because great purpose is often hidden within one small but courageous decision. Your moment is drawing nearer, but you do not need to live in tension as though one mistake will cause everything to disappear. What genuinely belongs to you does not require you to run in panic. I want you to remain attentive, prepared, and wise in action. Look again at the abilities you neglected, the ideas that continually return, and the problems that your heart cannot ignore. Ask what you can begin with the resources you already possess, instead of merely dreaming of a future when every condition is perfect. The first step may be learning a skill, writing a plan, finding a mentor, or reserving a fixed period each week to create something meaningful. Clarity often does not arrive before action. It grows as you remain faithful to small steps and observe what produces good fruit. You also need to prepare to leave behind the labels the world placed upon you. You are not merely the person who failed, the one who was left behind, the one who was too sensitive, or the one responsible for solving everyone's problems. You are someone who is still growing, with the right to learn again, adjust direction, and choose how to use the time that remains. Do not let the past become a prophecy of the future. What happened may explain some of your reactions, but it does not possess the authority to determine everything you will become. Forgive the former version of yourself who made decisions without complete understanding. Thank that person for trying to survive. Then gently lead yourself into a new way of living in which you do not merely avoid pain, but actively create goodness. Beloved, Michael, I want you to remember that a calling is not an honor to boast about, but a seed that must be cared for. It will not mature through great declarations, but through your willingness to appear each day. Do what is right. Learn from mistakes, and refuse to let delay become surrender. The world may not yet see who you are becoming, but you do not need to prove yourself hastily. Let the transformation of your character, the quality of your work, and the way you treat others become the clearest testimony. Someone who genuinely carries light does not continually announce that they are shining. They enter a place and make the darkness less oppressive through integrity, peace, and compassion. Therefore, lift your head while keeping your heart humble. Trust that you have something precious to offer, but do not despise anyone else's gift. Step away from the crowd when righteousness requires it, but do not isolate yourself through the belief that no one can understand or walk beside you. The right people will recognize your value not because you try to impress them, but because they see sincerity, discipline, and courage refined through many seasons. The approaching moment is not when you become a completely different person. It is when you stop hiding, stop delaying, and begin living more fully according to what was planted within you. Prepare your hands, clarify your mind, and guard your heart, because your assignment does not require a perfect person. It requires you, someone who has passed through trials, learned discernment, and finally become courageous enough to say, I am ready to move forward and remain faithful to what has been entrusted to me. You are entering the final days of a long season of testing, and the signs of its ending do not come through thunder or an event that astonishes everyone. They appear through small changes that only a heart refined by hardship may recognize. I know you became accustomed to noticing intense things, a door slamming shut, a cold rejection, a collapsing plan, or a sudden burden placed upon your shoulders. Difficult months trained you to anticipate the worst. Watch continually for danger, and remain ready to defend yourself. Therefore, when peace begins to return, you may not immediately believe that it is real. When something good comes gently, you wonder whether something is hidden behind it that requires caution. But beloved, not every transition needs to shake the earth. Sometimes the greatest change begins when you realize that you took a deep breath without pain, passed through a day without fighting the same old fear, or heard a simple sentence that touched the exact place that had long been forgotten. Recently, you have begun noticing details that 6 months ago you might have passed without stopping. A certain time appears. At the precise moment, you need a reminder that you are still seen. Someone who knows nothing about your struggle says something that suddenly brings relief to your weary heart. An opportunity opens without you needing to chase, beg, or prove that you deserve it. These moments are small enough to be called coincidences. Yet something quiet within you recognizes that they carry meaning. I do not want you to become superstitious or assign a spiritual explanation to every detail around you. Genuine discernment does not make you obsessed with signs. It helps you recognize when a moment brings peace, confirms what is good, and leads you back toward truth. Such reminders do not make decisions for you, but they can help you understand that your journey is not as directionless as fear once claimed. What brings me the greatest joy is the way you are beginning to tell your own story. You may not always notice it, but you have started using words that belong to a completed chapter. You say that you used to feel surrounded, used to wake with a burden heavier than the morning itself, and used to wonder whether you had been forgotten. Pay attention to this. Beloved, a deeper part of you has begun to understand that those experiences no longer define your entire present. Circumstances may not have changed completely, but the way you stand before them has changed. The pain that once occupied the whole room now sits only in one corner. The fear that once shouted now speaks more quietly. You are no longer introducing yourself through what wounded you. And this is a sign of restoration. When someone begins speaking of pain in the past tense, it does not mean they deny what happened. It means they no longer give it permission to write every remaining page. I know your conscious mind remains cautious. It wants clear evidence before believing that the former season is ending. It wants to see the door fully open, every problem resolved, and the future presented like a complete map. Yet, inward understanding often comes before visible proof. It does not shout in order to persuade you. It gently creates the sense that you may begin expecting goodness without condemning yourself. You have experienced brief moments when you imagined the future without immediately thinking about what might destroy it. You wondered what life could look like when the burden is gone, when the room within your heart is open to light, and when all your energy is no longer consumed by survival. These images are not yet clear, but permission to dream again has appeared. This is not an escape from reality. It is a sign that you are recovering the ability to look forward. A different kind of stillness is appearing within you. It is not the emptiness of someone who has lost all hope, nor is it the numbness that follows prolonged suffering. It resembles the earth after a heavy rain. When the wind has passed, but the final drops are still falling from the branches. Everything is not yet dry, but the atmosphere has changed. A place within you that was continually tense is beginning to relax. Perhaps you have slept a little longer, stopped awakening to the same thought, or discovered that a situation that once caused a powerful reaction now only makes you pause and observe. Your nervous system held its weapons for too long because it believed danger could return at any moment. Now it is learning that not every silence comes before a storm, and not every open door conceals betrayal. Be gentle with this process, because the body often needs more time than the heart to believe that it is safe. You may understand that someone no longer possesses the power to hurt you, yet your body may still become tense when you remember them. You may have left a chaotic environment, yet a sound, sentence, or similar situation may immediately return you to a defensive state. Do not treat these responses as evidence that you have not healed. They are memories stored within the ways you once had to survive. Breathe slowly. Name what is happening, and remind yourself that the present is not the past. If the tension continues, interferes with sleep or work, or causes frequent panic, seek appropriate support. I do not want you to label every sign of exhaustion an invisible battle and then continue suffering. Healing also comes through rest, care, and people capable of helping you return to balance. The fact that you are beginning to imagine the future is important, because at the height of the trial, you could think only about the present day. When pain becomes overwhelming, people do not ask what their lives will look like a year from now. They simply try to survive another hour, another night, another morning. But now there is enough space within you for a new question to enter. What will my life look like after this? That question may frighten you because hope once disappointed you. You fear that if you expect something again, you may once more experience loss. But I am not asking you to build castles from imagination. I am simply inviting you to believe that the present will not last forever. Think of a life in which you no longer need to explain every boundary. Peace is not a rare reward, and you possess enough strength to create, love, and return to things you once had to postpone. The pull you feel toward the future is not a voice demanding that you run. It resembles a gentle current, changing direction and carrying you out of the whirlpool that once held you. You may begin with very small actions, organizing your living space, completing unfinished work, planning something you want to learn, or reconnecting with someone who brings sincerity. These steps do not need to be seen or praised. Their purpose is to prove to yourself that life is still opening. Do not wait until you feel completely ready, because readiness often grows after you begin. Yet do not rush to escape the former season through an impulsive decision. Transition is a time to move slowly, observe carefully, and choose what aligns with the person who matured through the trial. Beloved, a chapter closes not because every memory disappears, but because those memories no longer rule. You may still remember and sometimes feel sadness, but the sadness no longer consumes you. You may still encounter difficult days, but you no longer conclude that you have returned to the beginning. Healing does not always move in a straight line. Some days you travel far, on others, you possess only enough strength to remain still. What matters is that your inward direction has changed. You are no longer facing the place that once imprisoned you. You have begun noticing gentle reminders, speaking of pain as something you pass through, experiencing stillness without panic, and allowing the future to enter your imagination. All of these things are declaring the same truth. The former season has completed its work. Therefore, do not search for a great explosion to confirm that you have been released. Honor the small signs of recovery: deeper sleep, a lighter morning, a decision no longer controlled by fear, a conversation in which you feel understood, or a door that opens without requiring you to lose yourself. This is how dawn usually arrives, not by removing all darkness in one instant, but through increasing light until you realize the night has moved far away. I saw you pass through the entire trial, and now I am teaching you to recognize relief without mistrusting it. Allow your shoulders to lower, let your heart breathe, and move forward with calm faith. You no longer stand within the chapter that exhausted you. You are at the threshold of something new, where what was once a wound will become wisdom, and what was once mere survival will gradually make room for a genuine life. Beloved, before the judgments and limitations of the world covered you, you were a child carrying natural light, vitality, and no doubt about your worth. In those days, you could become absorbed in something for a long time without needing anyone to remind you, because joy itself was enough to lead you. You looked at things that did not yet exist and believed they could still be created. Imagination came as easily as breathing. Ideas, stories, and images moved freely without needing to pass through the doorway of judgment. You did not stand before a mirror and ask whether you were talented enough, intelligent enough, or worthy enough. You simply lived, explored, and expressed what flowed within. This was not useless innocence. It was the first evidence of the abilities I placed within you from the beginning, before you learned to make yourself smaller to fit the expectations of others. Then layers of covering began to appear quietly. An adult told you that your dream was unrealistic. Someone's laughter made you ashamed to speak about what you loved. One failure persuaded you that it was safer not to hope too greatly, because greater hope would bring greater disappointment. As responsibilities increased, wonder was pushed into the background. You began choosing what felt safe rather than what made you alive, saying what was easily accepted rather than what was genuinely in your heart, and hiding the parts that made you different so that you would not become a target of judgment. There was no single day when you completely lost the light. It was lowered little by little until you became accustomed to existing as a cautious version of yourself. checking every step and afraid to occupy too much space. But hear me clearly, that radiance was never destroyed. The world only drew a curtain across it, making it difficult for you to see what was still burning brightly behind it. Your natural talent, creativity, curiosity, and ability to focus deeply did not die. They became quiet in order to protect themselves, like a spring concealed beneath stones and earth that continues flowing underground. The truest part of you remained alive, waiting to be uncovered. You do not need to create a completely different person. You do not need to reconstruct yourself from scattered pieces or search for value in distant places. You need to remove the layers of fear, shame, and self-doubt that prevent you from recognizing yourself. This Sunday can become the day you give that radiant part permission to speak. Move and leave the hiding place where it has remained for too long. I know restoration has already begun because a difficult-to-name restlessness is moving within you. Outwardly, everything may appear relatively stable. You have responsibilities, a familiar rhythm of life, and perhaps achievements that others believe should have made you satisfied. Yet, even when everything seems reasonable, a gentle reminder continues within that this is not the entirety of the life you were created to live. This feeling does not necessarily tell you to destroy everything or pursue something glamorous. It asks whether you are using your deepest abilities or merely completing tasks that allow you to continue existing. It reminds you that part of you has not received sufficient time, space, or courage to mature. Do not immediately numb this restlessness through constant busyness, endless noise, or attempts to fill every empty space. Yet do not treat every uneasiness as a command to change immediately. Rest, care for your body, and give your mind time to settle. Then observe what continues returning. A genuine prompting is not always loud, but it is persist. It comes back after temporary emotions pass, after you attempt to forget, and even after seasons when you told yourself that you should be satisfied with the present. It does not cause you to despise the life you already have. It makes you want to use that life more deeply and meaningfully. The restlessness does not prove that you are broken. It may be your true self, refusing to remain buried once again. There are also brief moments when the fog within your mind suddenly lifts. You unexpectedly see a direction, understand a problem that once confused you, or create with an ease you have not felt for a long time. For a few minutes, you no longer struggle to think. Everything seems to find its proper place naturally. You feel alert, decisive, and closer to your true nature. Then the clarity may close again, leaving you disappointed and wondering whether the experience was real. Yet these moments are not meaningless. They resemble a door opening slightly, allowing you to glimpse what life may become when fear, exhaustion, and noise no longer cover the light. Do not merely wait for those moments of clarity to return accidentally. Create an environment in which they can remain longer. Protect focused hours, reduce distraction, and stop giving all your finest energy to needs that do not belong to your responsibility. When an idea appears, write it down. When a project continually returns, give it a specific place in your schedule. When certain work makes you feel alive, observe the qualities it awakens within you. Light does not become steady merely because you remember it. It must be used. Every time you act according to clarity, instead of continuing to delay, the inward switch becomes less unstable and the dormant ability gradually begins functioning as it was designed to function. Another sign often appears when you see someone courageously walking within the very field you once secretly desired. A pain rises within, leaving you both admiring and saddened. You may quickly call it jealousy and condemn yourself. But sometimes it is simply deep recognition. Their life has touched an unfinished design within you. The pain does not mean you want to take what belongs to them. It means that the image reminds you of the part of your own life that you postponed. It tells you that you also received a similar seed. But fear, responsibility, or dismissive words kept it hidden for too long. Do not use this pain to diminish others, and do not treat it as proof that you are too late. See it as a mirror. What do you recognize within them? Freedom, courage, creativity, or dedication? What quality makes your heart respond? When you discover the answer, return to your own work, bless their journey, and begin building what belongs to you. You do not need to copy anyone's road, voice, or outward form of success. What I placed within you has its own expression, shaped by your experiences, healed wounds, and wisdom that only you carry. Another person beginning first does not mean the door has closed. Sometimes their presence is confirmation that the road truly exists. Beloved, you are not in the process of becoming a stranger. You are returning to who you were before fear taught you to hide your light. Yet this return does not mean going back to the immaturity of childhood. You will carry the freedom of a child, together with the wisdom of someone who passed through many seasons of testing. You will learn to dream without escaping responsibility, create with discipline, and believe in great possibilities without losing discernment. The experiences of adulthood are not your enemies. They will become the foundation that enables your radiance to stand more firmly, grow more deeply, and serve others rather than bringing joy only to yourself. Therefore, this Sunday, take one small action to open the door for the light to return. Give time to something that once made you forget the clock. Return to an unfinished idea, or attempt what you continually believed you could no longer do. Do not demand perfection from the first step or require immediate achievement. You need only send a clear signal into your life that the season of making yourself smaller has ended. Restlessness will no longer be treated as an enemy. Moments of clarity will no longer be wasted, and the pain you feel when seeing others will be transformed into motivation to build. You are not broken, not too late, and have not lost the best part of yourself. The curtain is rising. The fog is becoming thinner, and what remains silent is preparing to speak. You do not need to be recreated. You are being restored so that the light that was always there can finally breathe, move, and shine through your life once again.